You're here because something inside you won't let go. Because somewhere deep down, you're tired of the weight in your chest. The thoughts circling your head at night, the feeling that she slipped away and you couldn't stop it. You want to know the one thing that would make her sit up in bed one night thinking about you, regretting everything she let go. That's what brought you here, the hunger to feel seen again, to feel like you mattered to her. I get that. I've been there. That place where your self-worth becomes tied to her opinion, her attention, her presence. You scroll through old messages, replay the conversations, try to decode what went wrong and how you can flip the story. But that thinking will keep you stuck. So real answer isn't found in getting her back or convincing her to come around. It's found in becoming the kind of man who doesn't need her to. You want her to regret losing you? Then stop making this about her. This moment, right now, is your fork in the road. Either you stay in this loop stuck, second-guessing, waiting for her energy to return, or you flip the entire script. In the first move, stop chasing. Not just physically, but mentally. Stop checking her socials. Stop measuring your worth by her silence. Every time you reach out, wonder what she's thinking, or try to win her back, you drain a piece of your own power. And power is what makes a woman regret. Not manipulation, not words. Power, stillness, self-respect. That calm. Silence that says, I'm not angry. I'm just done handing out energy to someone who never earned it. That's when the regret begins. Not because you wanted her back, but because you finally chose yourself. She'd feel that even if you never say a word. Asterisk, you want to. Know what really flips the narrative? A life so powerful, so full, that she can't look away even if she wanted to. Not because you posted something flashy or tried to prove a point, but because you stopped performing and started becoming. This is where most men mess up. They think transformation means posting gym selfies, flexing money, or pretending they're unbothered. That's surface level. Real growth isn't loud. It's steady. It's in the way you carry yourself when no one's watching. It's the habits you build, the routines you protect, the energy you refuse to waste. You want her to feel that regret and create a life that screams progress without you saying a word? Start with your body. You don't need to look like a model. But strength, health, and discipline, they radiate. Move to your mind. Read, learn, challenge yourself. Get uncomfortable. Start projects. Build skills. Do things you always said you would but never did. Then check your environment. Who are you spending time with? Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Shift that too. Don't do any of this to impress her. Do it because you were meant to. Because deep down, there's a version of you that's been buried under heartbreak, laziness, distractions, and fear, and it's time to bring him to the surface. The moment she sees you thriving, not for her, not to be seen, but simply because you chose to level up, that's when it hits her. Not with jealousy, but with loss. She'll see a man she never got to meet while she had the chance. But by then, your life will be too full to notice her watching. That's the kind of life that makes someone regret leaving. It's a kind of life built on purpose, not revenge. On strength, not spite. Asterisk, letting go is one of the most misunderstood forms of strength. People think it means you've given up, that you've lost. But the truth is, letting go is the moment you finally choose peace over obsession, growth over control. It's not weakness, it's liberation. Right now, you might be trapped in your mind, replaying the same memories, wondering what you could have done differently, stuck in a cycle of what-ifs. You keep checking her socials, waiting for a text, interpreting her silence as something more than it is. But that's not clarity. It's emotional torture. And here's what most don't realize. When you're holding on to someone who's already let go of you, you're not preserving love. You're delaying your own healing. You're living in the echo of something that no longer exists. That's where the damage happens. You stop moving forward because part of you is still anchored to the past. Letting go isn't passive. It's not sitting on your hands hoping the pain fades. It's a decision, a conscious one. Say to yourself, she's no longer here. I can't control that. But I can control what happens next. You reclaim your time, your focus, your energy. You stop checking your phone every 10 minutes. You stop asking mutual friends what she's up to. You let her goon your routines and your thoughts and your heart. It hurts at first. It feels like something's missing. But slowly, your soul starts breathing again. You sleep deeper. You move lighter. You realize she wasn't your oxygen. She was just filling a space you didn't know how to fill for yourself. And when you finally release her, you step back into your own power. That's when your life starts unfolding again, as a reaction to what was lost, but as a commitment to what's next. Letting go is how you take your life back. Asterisk becoming. Irreplaceable doesn't happen by accident. Tips built, step by step, in silence, away from the spotlight. And the irony? The more you try to prove you're irreplaceable, the less you are. Because real value doesn't beg to be noticed. It simply exists, and people feel it. You want to be the man she regrets losing? Then stop being the man who needed her to stay to feel whole. Start becoming the man who's whole on his own. That kind of man isn't flashy, doesn't chase validation or wear masks to impress. He's grounded, consistent. He's not moved by the opinions of others because he knows who he is at his core. And that kind of presence, that calm, quiet certainty, it's rare. Cuts through the noise of a world full of people trying too hard to be seen. That's what makes you irreplaceable. Not because you're the loudest in the room, but because your silence carries weight. Because when you speak, people listen. When you act, you lead. She'll remember how you didn't beg, how you didn't spiral, how you didn't shrink when things fell apart. Instead, you rose. You stayed disciplined. You stayed focused. You showed class when it would have been easier to be petty. You lived with purpose even while you were hurting. That's strength. That's masculine. That's rare. And that's exactly what becomes unforgettable. Not because you chased her back, but because you outgrew the version of yourself that ever needed to. She may try to find you again, but she'll never find another you, because the man you became didn't rise to get her attention. He rose to meet his own standard. And in doing so, he became the man she'd think about when the noise dies down. The man whose absence feels louder than most people's presence. That's what irreplaceable really means. Asterisk rewriting your story isn't just about moving on. It's about taking the pen back and deciding that the next chapter belongs entirely to you. After a breakup, most men sit in the rubble and stare at what's broken. They replay it like a movie on repeat, memorizing every word, every look, every wrong turn. Become trapped in that chapter as if it's the only one that matters. But that chapter is already written. You don't get to rewrite the past, you get to rise from it. And that starts when you stop asking why it ended and start asking who you're going to become because of it. Every great story has a turning point, and this is yours. This is where the pain doesn't break you, it builds you. This is where you stop being the man who is left and start becoming the man who leaves behind everything that no longer serves. Him, David Goggins, said it best. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. That means taking radical responsibility for your life, your habits, your mindset, your choices. You become the kind of man who stops waiting for something external to heal him. Become the kind of man who creates his own momentum. Maybe that means starting your mornings with purpose, setting goals that scare you, cutting off distractions, or facing your demons head on. Whatever it is, make no mistake, it's yours to do. The man you become in the next 6 months can change everything. But only if you stop living in the shadow of someone who walked away and start stepping into the light of your own power. Let her regret whatever she wants. That's her story. Yours is about growth, fire, and evolution. Write it like your life depends on it, because, in many ways, it does.